Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 27th, 2015 meeting of the Glendale City Council. May we have the roll call, please?
Council members Devine.
Here.
Friedman.
Here.
Garpetian.
Here.
Sinanian.
Here.
Mayor Najarian.
Here. And this evening, we are honored to have the members of the Boy Scout Troop 288 Mavericks Patrol in the audience, and I'm going to invite them all to approach the podium and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Gentlemen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for this evening's invocation. Today is President Teddy Roosevelt's birthday, and although not a national holiday, his accomplishments during his many years of service to our nation in various capacities have earned him a place amongst our nation's greatest leaders and amongst the pantheon known as Mount Rushmore. Known best for his adage, to speak softly and carry a big stick, he had many more, such as, if a man does not have an ideal and try to live up to it, then he becomes a mean, base, and sordid creature, no matter how successful. Let us live our lives aiming all the time for the highest ideals. Let us pray that we are never led down the path of the mean, base, sordid individuals whose aim is to tear down what others build. Let us reflect on all that we have been given as citizens and residents of this fair city and actively seek ways to give back. We pray that our council and our entire city, residents, businesses, and all stakeholders be guided by these principles during tonight's meeting. We also pray for a safe and uneventful Halloween and peace around the world this evening and always. Amen.
Amen. Now, gentlemen from the troop, would you please introduce yourselves? Tell us your name and what school you go to.
Hello, my name is Henry Torres and I attend Village Christian Schools.
Hello, my name is Christopher Garabedian and I attend Village Christian Schools.
Hello, my name is Daniel DeSantis and I also go to Village Christian Schools.
Hello, my name is Nelson Keysbury and I too go to Village Christian Schools.
Hello, my name is R. Garabedian and I also go to Village Christian Schools.
Hi, my name is Dan Ferber and I go to Village Christian Schools too.
Okay, gentlemen, congratulations. And you have a special reward for appearing before council and getting the words right. Each of you will receive a City of Glendale honorary lapel pin, which you can wear on your collars or on your kerchiefs.
And these are the same ones we wear, and we don't give these out very often.
We have 6. Who needs one? You got one? All right. Congratulations. 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 You got one? You got one? Thank you. Mr. Kasakian, would you read the report?
The agenda for the October 27, 2015 regular meeting of the Glendale City Council was posted on Thursday, October 22, 2015 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. And the next item, please.
Next item is presentation and appointments at 3A is the agenda preview for the meetings of Tuesday, November 3rd, 2015.
Mr. Taktalian.
Good evening, Mayor Najarian and members of the City Council. It's a busy week next Tuesday. We'll start off the day with the Glendale Housing Authority meeting in the afternoon. There'll be one report by the Director of Community Development regarding the Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act, public hearing for California Public Finance Authority's proposed issuance of approximately $5 million in tax-exempt revenue bonds in support of the Maple Apartments, which is a Glendale affordable housing residential facility. Moving on, there will be a joint meeting with the Glendale City Council and Glendale Successor Agency with one report by the Director of Community Development regarding a loan agreement between the city and the agency for litigation costs. That'll be followed by a special meeting of the Glendale City Council with one report regarding the downtown mobility update, and that'll be made by the Director of Community Development as well. And then in the evening City Council meeting, there's a number of consent items. The first will be at 4B, and it'll be the Director of Public Works regarding roofing replacement and restoration at various City of Glendale facilities, followed by a report again from Public Works regarding design build of tenant improvements at the Perkins Building, followed by a report from our police chief regarding the State of California Office of Traffic Safety Grant Program for speed enforcements, distracted driving enforcement, motorcycle enforcement, DUI saturation patrols, and DUI and driver's license checkpoints. And finally, under the last item under consent is a report from the fire chief regarding provisions of contract fire and EMS dispatching services to the cities of Alhambra, Arcadia, Monrovia, Montebello, Monterey Park, San Gabriel, and Sierra Madre. Under action items, there's three. The first will be a report from the Glendale Water and Power's General Manager regarding authorization to issue a purchase order for prefabricated panels of composite materials required to refurbish deteriorated electrical vaults, followed by a report from Public Works regarding the Brand Boulevard and Gardena Avenue and adjacent streets sewer main and street improvement project. And the last item on the agenda will be a report from the City Manager regarding funding and participation in ongoing 710 freeway advocacy activities.
Thank you. Are we going to finish that all in one evening? Okay. It's a big agenda.
I don't have a choice.
It is a big agenda.
If not one, there's always another one.
That's right. Thank you. And let's go to the next item.
3B is a proclamation declaring October 18th to 25th as Family Promise Week.
Thank you. I see Barbara Lazar. Anyone else from Family Promise? Oh, yes, I see.
You may
Alfredo.
approach. Come on.
Please come forward. Come forward. I had you mixed in with the Boy Scout group. I'm sorry. I didn't
You look young.
recognize you. Well, hello. We're here to issue a proclamation for Family Promise. Would you like to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about the Family Promise, and then we can award the proclamation.
Of course. I'm Albert Hernandez. I'm the Executive Director for Family Promise, and we have 4 of our board members here. Board members Nancy Guillen, Miriam Finkelberg, Vice President Barbara Lazar, and President Sandy Thompson. And Family Promise is a wonderful organization that's been serving the community of Glendale and Burbank since 2010 by offering 90 days of shelter for homeless children and their families. And in those 90 days, the children and their families are receiving housing, they're receiving meals, they're receiving job counseling, financial literacy classes as well. What makes Family Promise unique is that we're a one-way solution. When a family comes to us, a situationally homeless family, meaning a first-time homeless family, they come to us and we're providing all of these programs and resources within those 90 days. In most cases, we get them out within 60, 62 days. And it's because of the great resources and collaborations we have in Glendale and in Burbank with our fellow nonprofit organizations. And we really do get them out. Again, it's a one-way solution. We're not a Band-Aid. We're here to get them back on their feet within those 90 days and living independently once again. So it's a great organization, and it's wonderful to see many of our supporters and friends here at Council and behind us as well. So thank you for offering this proclamation, and we're very excited to receive this on behalf of the many over 200 families that we've served since 2010.
Thank you. And I learned a lot more about your group last month, and I know Laura Friedman, my colleague, is on your advisory board, and you do great work throughout the region. And part of the reason that we're issuing the proclamation is to get your name out even more in Glendale, so you can obtain additional resources and funding to do the very good work that you do. You're very intensive. It's an intensive program which brings folks from homelessness to mainstream society, so that you play a very big part in our community. So I will read the proclamation. Whereas in November 2008, Family Promise of South Palm Beach County began operations dedicated to helping the most vulnerable among us, children and families who are temporarily homeless, and whereas during the last 5 years, Family Promise has graduated over 200 people with a 100% success rate, and whereas Family Promise supports numerous congregations of our area's faith community, which provide the facilities to house and feed guest families in need. And whereas believing that every child deserves a home, Family Promise of South Palm Beach County and its more than 1,000 volunteers empower families in making their transition from homelessness to sustainable independence. Now therefore, I, R. Najarian, do hereby proclaim the week of October 18th to the 25th, 2015, as Family Promise Week. In so doing, urge all citizens to recognize and raise awareness of the issue of temporary homeless children and families in our community. And I'm going to ask the advisory board member to present you with the plaque.
Thank you, my honor.
I'd like to say, while Councilwoman Friedman's going down there, that I want to welcome Family Promise to Glendale and Albert as well, because you're new to Family Promise, and looks like you're doing a great job. And I know I have friends that are affiliated with this organization, and they work very, very hard to make it a success. And I'm glad to see you all here tonight.
Yeah, I'll just add that Family Promise is a great, very grassroots kind of effort, which I appreciate. It's people in the community and faith-based groups in the community really reaching out and saying, we want to help these people who are in our community. And it's a great group. And I would just say that anyone who's watching at home, who's looking to get involved with the group to really make a difference to address homelessness, which has really been in the news a lot, this is a wonderful way of doing it without having to necessarily give a lot of money, but to give some time, some effort, maybe open your home, maybe open your cupboard, and help out. So I would ask anyone watching this to think about joining the Family Promise board, or just to come and see what it's all about. Congratulations, you all do an amazing job.
Of course.
If you want more information about Family Promise, please visit familypromiseverdugos.org. It's a great organization. I'm very proud to be here. So thank you again one last time.
Great. Thank you very much. And the next item.
Next item is the consent calendar. Consent items including minutes following a routine and may be acted upon by one motion. Any member of council or the audience requesting separate consideration may do so by making such request before a motion is proposed.
I don't have any requests to pull any item. Would someone like to move the entire consent calendar?
I'll move that. I'll move. So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Let's take roll call, please.
Council members Devine,
Yes.
Friedman,
Yes.
Garpetian,
Yes.
Sinanian. Yes. Mayor Najarian.
Yes. Thank you, and let's move to the next item.
Next item is city council and staff comments.
Let's start from my right. Ms. Friedman? Sinani? Mr. Garpetian?
Yes, I'd like to ask or maybe request as to how to put on the agenda to start having joint meetings with Glendale Unified, the council and the Glendale Unified. Since we've been talking about having joint projects with them as far as our parks go and their schoolyards go, I think it would be a very positive thing to start having that, opening that communication channels. And,
I'll second it
Right.
if we need to agendize it.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Absolutely.
Also, we can talk about the tennis courts and what we had to do that works before. So,
Ms. Devine?
Oh, okay. This was a very busy week in Glendale for all of us, and I know most of us attended all of the events. I just wanted to mention a couple. One is the One Glendale, which is our after-school program that we do in collaboration with the Glendale Unified School District. We had, I went to one of the games. We have 4 elementary schools that are involved: Horace Mann, Cerritos, Marshall, and Pacific Edison, and they played flag football, and it was a great turnout in the park. Families that live around the park, not only the parents of the kids that were playing, but also those that live around the area. So it was really fun and a very successful event. And I understand that the Glendale School District is so happy about it that hopefully we'll be able to get more schools involved as the year progresses. We all attended the YWCA Candlelight Vigil, which was to raise awareness for domestic violence. The Kenneth Village had their Fall Festival kickoff on Saturday. All the kids were there decorating pumpkins and in costume, etc. And we also attended the Firefighters Club retirement. And I have to say, because I'm retired, I know that retirement is can be a very traumatic transition in our lives. And that was an evening where we saw several, I think there were 6 or 7 firefighters who retired. One that had 35 years of service to our fire department. And it was quite an evening and we went from joy to tears and back again. The feeling of brotherhood of our firefighters was really palpable that evening, and I just want to wish all of those that retired much success and enjoy your retirement, and thank you so much for your service. And to conclude, Mr. Mayor, in anticipation of an upcoming agenda item on the impact fee allocations for our parks, I'd like to request a second from one of my colleagues for a report on a special playground project for children with disabilities. I've recently learned about Shane's Inspiration. It's a nonprofit which designs playgrounds for special kids. And so I know there are 50 of them around the world. There's one soon to come in Armenia. There's one in Russia, in Ecuador, in Mexico. And the flagship playground is right in Griffith Park. And so what I'd like is to request that staff do a report and about the feasibility of having a playground
Sure. I'll second it.
Will you? Okay.
I'd say it's a great idea. When you bring the report back, maybe we can also look at, besides the option of having a specific dedicated playground, but having all of our playgrounds have some play apparatus that is also usable by
Actually,
people with
that's what they do.
disabilities.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what they do. We'll try to hopefully take a space. We're going to take this, I guess staff will take it to Parks Commission and talk about maybe a dedicated space in one or two parks, maybe start with one, and see about a special playground for kids. So,
Well, I guess what I'd like them to look at is whether it's possible to have playground equipment that is accessible as well to people with different handicaps and disabilities, and as we replace playground equipment, so that all of the equipment in all the parks would then have some accessible. But it's a wonderful concept, and I'm so glad you brought this forward.
Great. Okay.
Great
I think
idea.
that there's one. I feel like I've been to one in Beverly Hills or Brentwood. There's
Yes,
something
well, they
on
have
the
38
west
of
side.
them.
Yeah.
38 of them in California, in the United States. There is one in Burbank. Griffith Park has one, and I'm sure Pasadena, and I'm not exactly sure who else has one, but you probably have seen them. They also, the other, I think, special part of this playground is the fact that they do playground equipment for 0 to 5-year-old kids, and we don't have a playground like that here in our city. And so there are a lot of possibilities, so I'm glad that you're in favor of bringing this back, and we can look into it when we get to our allocations. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to report on a couple items that I was successful in bringing forward at the MTA meeting. The first one is the North Hollywood to Pasadena Express Transit Service. We've been talking about this for a long time. The transit line passes through Glendale. The MTA board finally approved it. We do have a graphic, I believe.
Is it the one that goes from Good? Is there a stop at Good?
Yes. So in Glendale, it's a limited, as by definition, Express is a limited stop service. It will connect the North Hollywood Metro Center, which is the conjunction of the Orange Line and the Red Line, It's going to shoot down Lancashire, come across generally the 134 with a stop or two in the Burbank Media District. It will have a stop in Glendale at Sanchez and Good, which is straddling our 134 freeway between Brand and Central, kind of where the Equinox and the Whole Foods building is. It will continue to go eastbound, and it will eventually connect with the Gold Line in Pasadena at the Del Mar station. So this is going to be a reality. We have an opening date set for March 5th, 2016. We're going to start off as a bus route, an express route, and as the attendance and ridership numbers dictate, it will then become a possible light rail route between those two. So in theory, on a light rail, you could travel from Glendale all the way out to Azusa, and on March 5th, that will be the opening of the Gold Line extension, which will extend from Sierra Madre to the city of Azusa. And of course, going westbound, you have the Orange Line available, which takes you all the way out to Warner Center. And either the Gold Line or the Red Line can drop you down into Union Station, where all the other rail lines are going to be available, the Blue Line and the Expo Line, et cetera. So this was many years in coming. To be honest, this was on the board even before I got elected to council. The cities of Glendale, Burbank, and Pasadena were working on this. It took a long time to push for this, and finally we're going to have this coming up.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question? It's
Yes.
great work. I'm so glad to see this. Is this going to be on a dedicated bus lane so that it doesn't have to be in traffic, or what's the plan for that?
The idea is as it travels on the 134, the carpool lane is available. And again, as ridership increases, the justification, the financial justification for a dedicated bus route like the Orange Line will become stronger. So we will hope that it gets a lot of riders. It seems a logical connection between the two great valleys of our region, the San Gabriel Valley and the San Fernando Valley. And folks from Glendale will be able to take the Beeline bus up to the connection there and go either east or west, eventually connecting to downtown if you so choose. So it just gives us a little bit more transit ability. Bikes will be welcome, and we hope, actually we're hoping it will invigorate the north part of Brand and Central as well. Not that it needs much invigoration, there's quite a few apartment buildings going up anyway, but perhaps folks in those units will be less inclined to get into their vehicles and travel where they need to go. So thank you. That's the first item.
Mr. Mayor, is there going to be a stop in Glendale?
Yes,
There.
at
Sanchez?
Central and Brand,
Okay.
between Central and Brand. And there may actually be another one too, I think, at Harvey Drive at that park and ride. There may be a little drop off and pick up there as well.
Very good.
Okay, thank you. And the next item is,
Wait for it.
quiet.
Wait for it.
It's the quiet zone. Thank goodness the MTA board approved my motion to expend the extra $150,000 to complete the quiet zone improvements through our corridor along San Fernando Road. It's not going to happen overnight. There's still some technical work to be done, but the money is there. Staff is working hard, and there should be nothing that stands in the way of the quiet zone. So the train horns that we've heard through Glendale for, I would say, at least a century, are now going to be quieted. And they echo to Montrose. If anyone has been in Montrose, you can hear those horns blaring. So hopefully that this is something that will calm everyone's nerves and get everyone a chance to get a good night's sleep, and everyone will reduce our crankiness factor in the city of Glendale.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to thank you for accomplishing this, and I know that Mr. Galanian has been working for years to get this done, and I know there are a lot of people in Pelinconi that are very, very happy tonight, so thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Good job, Mr. Mayor.
Have I reminded anyone of anything as I was going on and on? Okay. Then, are there any staff announcements? Mr. Clerk? Okay. Then let's move on to the next item.
Next item, Mr. Mayor and Council, is the community event announcement portion, and I believe there's a presentation in regard to that.
Very well. I have a card from Ron Farina from the Red Cross.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, senior management staff. My name is Ron Farina. I'm Executive Director of the American Red Cross. With me somewhere, oh, there she is Sharon Townsend with Glendale Healthy Kids. We're here for the last time this month. We're here to promote the Glendale's finest tradition in funniness. It's the Fritz Coleman Comedy Night. It's coming up Sunday, November 1st at 7 p.m. at the Glendale Center Theater. And
Ron, would you like me to play that?
yes, please, if you can go ahead. Fritz will do the
Did you
rest
do
of
that,
it.
Mr. Mayor? Is him?
Hello, my good friends. It's Fritz Coleman once again interrupting the important business of the Glendale City Council to tell you about my 24th annual comedy night to benefit the Red Cross. The City Council people who were in office back when I started this are now permanently termed out, if you know what I mean. However, I'm asking for your help once again. We've never disappointed you once in the 24 years. Here's what's happening. It's our 24th year. This year it's going to be Sunday, November 1st at the Glendale Center Theater, that gorgeous theater in the round. No better place to do a show. The show time is at 7 o'clock. Doors will open at 6:45. And of course, the address is 324 North Orange Street in Glendale. There's convenient parking just to the right of the theater or in plenty of lots nearby. You won't have to walk far to park at all, even if you get there late. We have the best comics in the world. And this year, we're going to have a surprise guest. You'll have a lot of fun. Top talent, Las Vegas, television talk shows, their own specials on Showtime. You'll love it. It's a clean show, too, but we're not recommending you bring kids because they won't be offended. They'll just be bored out of their heads. So just have an adult night out and you won't be embarrassed. Tickets are only $20 this year, 2 ways to buy them. You can get them at the website, which is american.redcross.org/Glendale. That's American, all lowercase, american.redcross.org/Glendale. Or you can do it on the phone, 818-243-3121, and press 0. Love to see you for the 24th annual comedy night. That officially makes the Red Cross the longest relationship I've ever had. Sadly. See you November 1st.
That's just a sampling of his humor, though. I think Ron wrote the script for him for the reference to the
Hello,
the city
my good
council.
friends. It's Fritz Coleman once again.
He's speaking as a ghost too. It's Halloween. We'd love to have you come. It's probably the most affordable function in the city for only $20. If you're hungry, you can join us at 5:30 for an additional fee at Phoenicia Restaurant. But we'd love to have you. It'll just be a great evening to relax, sit back, and laugh. Thank you.
Thank you.
And tickets are still available?
Tickets still available.
I have some right here.
And for those of us who have hectic schedules, who suddenly realize they have a opening at 7 p.m. on Sunday.
Just come to the door, and we'll get you in.
Okay.
Yeah.
There, you can
we'll get you
arrange a purchase
We
at
have
the
a
door.
balcony that we can.
Okay.
That's for you, special. No, just come to the door. We'll be there. One of us will be there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And thanks to Fritz. Next card that I have is submitted by Carol Kenyon.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council and staff, and neighbors and Troop 288. Welcome. My name is Carol Kenyon, and I'm brand new, serving with First Baptist Church of Glendale, just down the road here. And I come to offer something. You would think we'd be in cahoots with the Red Cross because we have a place to send your kids. which is not Fritz Coleman's place, and we are the second most affordable event. This Saturday, it's free. And we are here to offer our families of our community a remedy to the agony of those long and painful hours that lead up to that final moment when you can spill out onto the street and go trick-or-treating. So this Saturday, the 31st, right in the parking lot at the corner of Wilson and Louise, we ask any families to come, old or young, and come join us in the parking lot. We're going to have carnival games and obligatory hot dogs and popcorn and face painting and silliness and a lot of fun. We just want to meet our community, and we want to meet you. So bring your kids. You can use up the energy while you're waiting for the nighttime to fall, and we'll get to know each other. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I just say that's a great idea? And I hope people take advantage of it. I will try to be there.
Oh, we do too. We just love to meet our community, and we see them walking around all the time, and they're playing chess with us, and they're doing gymnastics. So we want some sort of unscheduled time together. So thank you.
Thank you. Michelle Beam. I didn't know you were coming today. What a pleasant surprise.
Thank you very much. And good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, City staff, Boy Scouts, and all guests. I am Michelle Boehm. I am the Southern California Regional Director for the California High-Speed Rail Project, and I am here tonight to draw your attention to the fact that we will be having community meetings for our Burbank to Los Angeles section of the high-speed rail project coming up in the next few weeks. We would be reintroducing the project to the communities along the corridor. In recent years, we have taken a fresh look at the corridor, and we have a new objective and plan in terms of how we're bringing high-speed rail services into the Los Angeles area south of the Burbank station. We are focused with putting the high-speed rail service within that existing railroad right-of-way, that railroad corridor that you spoke about earlier, that you're turning into a quiet zone. Congratulations for that. We plan to adhere to that and hopefully make it even quieter and safer as we bring high-speed rail through that corridor. So again, our objective right now is to make sure that we're staying within the limits of the existing right-of-way that is there right now. We want to seal the corridor and make it safer than it is right now. And we want to look for all opportunities to provide connecting transportation services, not only to our service and to the Metro Rail service and Amtrak service operating in that corridor, but also bus service, bikes, PEDs, all of those things. Because as you talked about earlier today, or earlier in this meeting, we need to be identifying those opportunities to make those connections that aren't made right now within LA County, from the San Fernando Valley to the San Gabriel Valley, from the NoHo Red Line station to the airport. All of those kinds of connections are tremendously important to us, and so we want to work with regional partners to look at all of those ways that we can make sure that as we bring high-speed rail in, we're also providing solutions for closing other transportation gaps. And so with that, I will show you the list of the meetings. I think I have one more slide if you could advance it.
You can advance it actually with the
I can
remote
do it
right there.
All right, excellent. So this is when our meetings start. On Tuesday, November 10th, we'll be in downtown Los Angeles at LA Union Station. On Monday, November 16th, we'll be in Glendale, and that meeting will be a live webcast. And then in Thursday, November 19th, we'll be in Cypress Park. So we certainly welcome you all to come visit us.
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. We have some questions for you.
Yes,
Let me start with Mr. Garpetian and then Ms. Friedman.
thank you. You said that this is from Burbank to Los Angeles?
Correct.
And is there a stop in Glendale?
There's not.
There's no stop in Glendale?
There is currently no stop in Glendale, correct. It connects Burbank directly to LA Union Station.
Okay. Would there be ever a stop in Glendale?
No. It's the high-speed rail.
No, it wouldn't be very fast. It was going to stop everywhere.
So in Glendale, of course, you have the
I know it's a
existing.
high-speed rail, but-
Yeah, in Glendale, you have the existing Metrolink station, and so our goal would be to make sure that that Metrolink station was able to serve the passengers coming in from this area and take them up to either the Burbank stop to board high-speed rail or down to Los Angeles Union Station to board high-speed rail, depending on the service that they wanted. If they wanted to go to Northern California or potentially someday Las Vegas on high-speed rail, they would go up to Burbank. If they were looking to go all the way down to Anaheim, of course, they would travel south.
Ms. Friedman? Thank you.
We have a light agenda. Do you mind?
Please.
Thank you for coming. I know you have to get to Burbank today, right now, right, for their council meeting. Are you giving a presentation there?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then great. We've
No,
got
they're
plenty of
talking
time.
about me. My ears are burning.
Yeah. No, thank you for coming in. I'm going to try to make the meeting, so I'm not going to ask a lot of questions. But I'm just curious, since you're here. So you're going to use the existing tracks or right-of-way? How does that work? Are you going to be separating the freight and Metrolink? Like, are you elevating the tracks, or are you running on the same track?
So we are going to be using the existing railroad right-of-way, and so what we're working on designing right now is putting additional tracks within that right-of-way because, as you know, in Southern California, we have a lot of congestion, as not a lot of people know, on our steel rails because they're sharing the burden of both our passenger service and our freight service.
Right. Now, I'm glad to hear it'll be another, as a Metrolink rider, all the time to go downtown. I know what happens when a freight train breaks down somewhere in the system, and it's not good. So I'm glad to hear that. You haven't figured out yet what route you're coming in yet, correct?
From the north into the Burbank area, correct. So our project in Southern California has kind of two personalities. South of Burbank, it's really focused on the corridor mobility and designing new track infrastructure within the existing railroad right-of-way. When we go north of Burbank, we're trying to get up to the Antelope Valley to do another valley-to-valley connection and then get into the Central Valley, one further valley, and that's the location where we have several route concepts that we're studying right now, and we do not have a selected route concept right now. There's still a lot of studies and work to do in order to be able to determine what that route ultimately is. As you know, there's a lot of interest and concern in that selection process, and we plan to take an appropriate amount of time to study it.
Well, I don't envy you because I know every option has big pluses and big minuses. I'll just give, for whatever it's worth, my opinion that the equestrian community in Lakeview Terrace and Sunland is very precious and very unique, and the last affordable horse carrying area in Los Angeles City. And I would hate to see that sacrificed for this project because it's not replaceable. And it's also the gateway into the Angeles Forest for all of Los Angeles County. And without that, there is no interface really between the Angeles Forest and the city of Los Angeles. So that's my little plug since I'm sitting here and I can do that. And my last question is the private Vegas proposal going to beat you into the ground, do you think? Do you think they're going to get to Vegas before we get to San Francisco?
Well, we have a little side wager on that.
Right, okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate it, and keep us updated. And are you sure there's not going to be a stop in Glendale?
Well,
but
let's keep talking.
But let me say that things have improved. Originally, there was a proposal to have us move our train station 20, 30 feet to the east, and that's off the table, correct? So we're within the right-of-way.
That's what we're trying to do. It gets quite tight down there, and so we're going to sit down with your staff with your permission, and I hope we have that moving forward to work out the details so that we can stay within that right-of-way.
Okay. And I do want to thank High Speed Rail because you have offered us some funding for a lot of these corridor improvements that we've been able to effect through Glendale. So thank you in arrears for your contribution to that.
You're welcome. We were very proud to contribute to the positive train control implementation for Metrolink, new locomotive purchase for Metrolink as well, those Tier 4 locomotives. We supported the purchase of a number of those, and so we're very excited to get those on board. They reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by about 85%. Stronger and faster. So, you know, in the future, your Metrolink system's going to be giving us a run for our money in terms of speed down here south of Burbank.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Next speaker is Dr. Manuel Momjan.
All right, hello. Thank you for having me, guys. So I am here.
Gals.
And guys and gals. Well, it's a group of friends, actually, so I feel like I know you guys pretty well. Thank you for having me here. I'd like to just bring to the attention to the community of Glendale the most impressive healthcare event that they will experience this year in Glendale. This has been something that I've been involved in over the last 6 years. And it is getting bigger and better every year. And this year, the city of Glendale, thanks to many of you sitting in the council, has created a partnership with Glendale, and we have made this thing much more visible to the community. And I'd like to thank everyone for that, Paula Devine and Vartan Karapetyan, who've come to our meetings, our organizing of meetings. So basically, to cut to the chase, this is an event where people can come and get completely free services on November 7th. This is at the Glendale Civic Auditorium. It starts at 10 a.m. and it finishes at 3 p.m. It's very impressive because of the size and how many different things are available. So participants can come and get free cholesterol screening, total cholesterol, get their blood pressure screened, can get cancer screening. We're going to have a cancer screening, including mammograms and pap smears provided by the LA County Department of Public Health. Also, this year, we're adding a mammogram truck that's going to come and actually do mammograms on site. We also have flu shots. We're going to give out somewhere around 500 free flu shots this year, and that's by the LA County Public Health Department. Also, Northwest Glendale Lions Club is doing a fantastic job doing eye screening and hearing screening there. They're going to give out somewhere around 300 free reading glasses. Then we have dental screening. The USC School of Dentistry comes every year, and they do quite an extensive screening for patients and give them some additional resources for follow-up. And then this year we are adding on something called the Brown Bag Program, where we ask the people in the community to bring their bags of medication and have a pharmacist review their medications, create a medication list so that they can get more organized. Also, with the help of the Glendale City, we are going to be providing a disposal of medications for the community. So if you have medications that you need to get rid of, do not flush them down the toilet, do not throw them in the garbage. Please bring them to the Glendale Health Festival on November 7th, and we will dispose of them for you. And thank you to the City of Glendale for providing that service for us. And I think I'm out of time. But can I go a little bit longer? So basically, the most important part of this is that there are going to be many, many different doctors there that are going to provide consultations for free, including specialists in multiple disciplines. So it's a fantastic event. I really hope that everyone makes it out on November 7th. It's completely free. It's also a festival, so there's free live entertainment, there's free food, there's lunch. So, I mean, we provide pretty much everything.
And this is for all ages, for the young kids and for all the way up to the elderly.
That's exactly right. It's for everyone. We want people to bring their entire families.
And can you tell us about the transportation? Do you have that organized?
Yes, absolutely.
There's free transportation.
So there's going to be free transportation this year that is going to be put on by the City of Glendale. So we're going to have a decommissioned Glendale B-Line bus that will be making various stops. And if you go to GlendaleHealthFestival.com, you can see all the pickup locations, which include the Verdugo Job Center and the Pacific Community Center, and also Glendale Galleria. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll see you there.
Okay, very good.
Thank you. Thank you for organizing this, taking charge of this, and putting together what sounds like an immense effort. Thank you.
I didn't do it by myself.
Of course. Well, I mean, everyone in the committee, everyone's going to volunteer also.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't have any other cards, but there's something that I forgot to mention, and I think I'm speaking for the entire city council, that this Saturday evening is Halloween. So we know what that means. That means a lot of excited boys and girls running around house to house, sometimes across the streets. And we know that there are cars on those streets, and we are urging all parents and all trick-or-treaters, especially all drivers, to drive extra carefully as they go around our city. A child may jump out in front of you at the last minute, sometimes wearing dark clothing. You may be distracted by other kids in costumes, so please drive carefully, and we don't need to have any accidents this Halloween.
Can I ask a question? I don't know if Chief Castro is here. Is there anyone here, and Tom Lorenz isn't here either. I'm wondering if we have any added patrols, special officers out. And let me just say, last year I was trick-or-treating with a group, and there was a car driven by, I think they were sort of, I don't want to say teenagers, they weren't 14, but they were young drivers who actually tried to run down a group of kids. I mean, they were pretending, but they sped up very quickly at a group of kids and only veered away at the last minute. And I have a lot of concerns about what happens on our streets. Especially on Halloween with the kids out. So what is our plan? Can we get a lot of extra officers out driving around? And I know that there's also been concern in the community about some of the areas that tend to get the most trick-or-treaters, you know, Kenneth Road, that type of area. And I know they've been asked to stop giving out candy at a certain point, but what's the plan?
Short of really giving too much information about all the contingency planning that the police department does, rest assured that we do staff up. We will be staffed up for this Saturday evening, especially considering that it is a Saturday. You will see a very announced police presence out on the street with respect to Kenneth Road. In particular, in Glenwood, we have our bicycle team that is deployed specifically to that area. We have contingency plans for every bottleneck area in town. God forbid that we ever need them, but if we needed to, at the very last minute, close down the street, we could. Those resources will be there. But at this point, if you recall, last year living in Northwest, it was a little bit of overkill that we would have the street closed almost the entire stretch through Glenwood, which kind of invites even more kids running into the street, even around those barricades. I think at this point, being able to have a very announced police presence on the street with the bike patrol and the outreach and the ramped up patrols citywide, you'll again have a very safe, secure Halloween.
And also there's a misconception that the bike patrol is the patrol that's going to provide security. Kenneth, you know, that stretch from, what is it, Grandview to Highland. No, the bike patrol is a supplement to
Absolutely, that's a great point.
The heavy presence that's already going to be
there will be. You're absolutely right, sir. That's a great distinction. We have again, we're ramped up, staffed up for the night, and because that's one of the choke points, we have that group, the four-man team, will supplement the already announced presence that we'll have at that location. Geneva is a location that you'll see lots of police around. Kenneth Village, anywhere where we historically have had as meant Adams Square, anywhere where we have had choke points before in terms of pedestrians and vehicles, you'll see a very visual presence of GPD. And the issue is not to discourage people from being out, but just to encourage people to be safe, as you've heard.
And can we give out our snap bracelets and our light up things and all the things that we've been giving out to mostly to cyclists and to pedestrians? But can we have a whole lot of them on hand and maybe even give them to some of the people who hand candy out on Kenneth Road and different places and try to get them out in the community so that we can, because there's, I mean, it's really hard to see the kids a lot of times on Halloween and the parents, and people don't realize that they're really invisible when they're crossing the street. And we've got Cumberland Road with no sidewalks, and it'd be really nice to have more people have lights and illumination and reflectors. So
Certainly,
can we get those out in the
all
community?
yes, definitely, and certainly all the police and police vehicles will have those giveaways, just handing them out, and we'll try to get them out into private hands as well to be handed out and disseminated.
Great, thank you.
Okay. We want you to have fun, though, but please be careful. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is adoption of ordinances. 7A is an ordinance adopting general plan amendments, case number PGPA 1503604 and PGPA 1503605, map amending the downtown specific plan, DSP relating to height and density bonuses and related miscellaneous text and map amendments. This was introduced by Councilmember Devine on October 13, 2015.
Mr. Ochoa.
This is, the only thing left to say is the council had called a shot by way of ratcheting down the incentives for development. You looked at this over the past year a couple of different times with a couple different council makeups, bless you. And at this point, this reflects the council's clear direction to manage future development and growth, recognizing we can ratchet down further or ratchet up depending on what the impact is. But it reflects the council's vision.
I'm going to move the item, but I'd like to make a comment. Just because the way that it's been presented, it kind of sounds like these were incentives for development, like these were incentives to get people to develop, when actually what they were incentives to get people to do things like add open space to private development or add art components to private development. So I just want to make that clear. And I do think that this direction of altering those is absolutely appropriate and will hopefully get us better development into the future.
Thank you. I have no cards. Is there a second?
Second.
Ordinance? Thank you, Ms. Devine. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Devine?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Garpetian?
Yes.
Sinanian?
Yes.
Mayor Najarian.
Yes. Next item.
Next item at 8A1 is General Manager of Glendale Water and Power regarding water conservation and drought rate update. 8A1 is a resolution delaying the imposition of applicable Phase 2 water conservation drought rate and maintaining the currently effective Phase 2 drought rate during Phase 3 conservation for a period of 6 months.
Mr. Ochoa?
I certainly would not want to step on Mr. Zern's toes for the good news he has to bring you, but Steve, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, this past April, we recommended and you approved our moving into Phase 3 of our water conservation ordinance, and that was primarily to get us to what our state mandated goal of 20% is. At that time, we delayed moving into the Phase 3 drought rate. As you know, every mandatory phase of our drought ordinance, phases 2 through 5, have a specific drought rate attached to it. The recommendation was that we keep it at the Phase 2 rate, wait 6 months, see how our revenues and expenditures look, what our projections for the future were, and then come back to you with a report on that and a further recommendation. So that's why I'm here tonight, to report to you that our revenues and expenditures are projecting just as we had expected with the Phase 2 rate. We haven't seen a blip that would cause us to recommend that we move into the next phase of the drought rate. And that's primarily from, certainly you have, your revenues have been cut back as a result of less usage, but at the same time you're also buying less water. We are buying less water. And in addition to that, from an operational standpoint, our staff has made some administrative decisions to further reduce our water purchases. So that's allowed us to keep our revenues at about 20% below what we projected, which is right where that Phase 2 rate was intended to capture and keep us whole with regards to covering our fixed costs. So a combination of not quite getting the 30% reduction from the conservation side, but far exceeding what our projections were on the purchase side. Those two things in concert have allowed us to maintain our COSA at that 20% reduction level. Therefore, we don't need to move into the next rate, at least at this time. 6-month period, I'll be back to you in April to give you a further report, see how the winter went. see if some of the rains that have been predicted actually come to fruition and how that will impact us. But for now, I think we are just fine where we're at with the phase 2 drought rate, and I would recommend maintaining that for another 6 months.
That's great news.
Good news. This has been a very good news night for our residents.
And Mr. Mayor, I would be remiss if I didn't again, as I try to do every time I have an opportunity to talk about water conservation, compliment our residents on the fine job that they're doing. We're since phase 3 was implemented, we're about 25-26%. As you know, our state mandated goal is 20%, so our folks have done a very stellar job. And this has been through the critical warm period. And believe me, it's a lot warmer in October than we expected it to be, but folks are maintaining that vigilance and keeping their water usage down. So my thanks to them, and I'm proud of the organization and the city.
Thank you, Mr. Zern. Are there any other specific questions or general comments on that? Okay, very good. This is a resolution delaying the imposition of the Phase 3 water drought rates. Is there a motion?
I'll move the item. Second? Do we need a second?
Yes. A roll call, please.
Council members Devine?
Yes.
Friedman?
Yes.
Garpetian?
Yes.
Sinanian? Mayor Najarian?
Yes. Next item, please.
Next item is oral communication. However, there were no cards submitted for the 5-minute portion of oral communication this evening.
I think that's an unusual, very unusual occurrence. Except we have a card from Mr. Garpetian.
Yes, how much you love to hear. I'm just kidding. I attended Valley Economic Alliance Transportation Summit yesterday, and I wanted to know, or maybe put it on the agenda to bring it back and talk about this issue, Measure R, Measure R2, all the transportation money. I know you're on the board, Mr. Mayor, maybe get a report from you. Every city out there, especially in San Fernando Valley, is fighting for their fair share of these transportation funds. And we're getting bypassed by high-speed rail again. And we're not going to have I know it's a high-speed rail, it doesn't have to stop in every city, but, you know, I want to know what is our plan, what are we doing, get a report, and for the community as well to know, are we fighting for these funds as well, or because we are at the edge of the San Fernando Valley, we're not getting any of our fair share of the Measure R or Measure R2 funds that is coming up. Believe me, it was like really, they were very aggressive in getting funds to their area. And that's another issue about districting, that it's a different topic, that everybody wanted something for their own area. And I like to have that. I don't know if you have to get a second on it, or we can
have the second.
Put it on the agenda to talk about it and see what we can do.
Mr. Mayor?
Perhaps as it relates to our mobility matrix discussion, our downtown transportation.
When is it coming back?
That's supposed to come on the 17th, so the report on R2 funding priorities really can be folded into that, and the council can review the priorities and make adjustments as you see fit.
Ms.
Now,
Friedman?
R2 is going to be going for a vote, right? In front of,
It has to, so R2 has to pass the MTA board.
Just
Well,
the
what
board?
happens,
Doesn't
let me
have
just,
to- okay.
a general legislation has been passed in Sacramento. Can I speak to this item?
Just to answer the question, yeah.
Just answer the question, Counselor. Legislation has been passed which gives MTA the authority to put a bond measure forward. The MTA board will decide on the projects which will be funded by that bond measure, both specific and general and regional funding. If they vote to place it on the ballot, it's kind of like the airport issue, then it goes before the voters in November of 2016, in which a 2/3 majority is required to pass it.
well, I would like a second to agendize us discussing, passing a resolution in favor of MTA voting for R2 funding, and also for us to have a resolution to urge the voters to adopt the legislation, to adopt to vote for the R2 funding. Maybe it has to be kind of one after the other, but I would like to see if there's a
Can we get a report on
second.
R2 first before we second it? Or?
Well, I'm saying when you come in with the report, there's no reason they can't come in with language for a resolution for City Council to be in favor of MTA.
I would submit to you that, and certainly Mr. Najarian can speak to this better than I, that until and unless we know what the parameters of that funding would be, perhaps you would want to hold back on fully endorsing something, because there's still a great deal of horse trading to be had with respect to where some of those funding opportunities would lie. Is that true, sir?
All right, let me say this then. I would like at some point to do that. I will follow Mr. Najarian's lead as to what the timing should be, but I would like for us to at some point formally express our support for increased transportation funding, bond funding for this region. So I will express that, and we'll wait, and I will defer to the MTA board member here to let us know when we should do that.
No, I would agree with Mr. Ochoa that there's a lot, you know, the devil is in the details. And there are some projects that everyone likes. There are some projects which are hated, such as the 710 tunnel, which may find their way in. And until everything gets sorted out, I think we should have a discussion, perhaps a broader discussion with the actual projects before us. But I think it is perhaps expected that the cities come in and weigh in on the bond measure before the actual vote. And that would address your issue.
And it also further accentuates Councilmember Arpetian's point that, I mean, okay, some measures are great, ultimately very good for the region in terms of development of transportation, but where's Glendale's share of the money? So blindly, I personally wouldn't be for supporting any regional project without clearly understanding where Glendale fits in all of it, because although I'm all for regional development and connectivity and all that, Glendale has to be part of it. Glendale has to be a part of it. We can't be left out.
Okay, so that will come forward in different forms as we discuss transportation and...
Will you also keep us informed as to these MTA votes and kind of where you're going, and let us weigh in on some of this as well?
I will be, I am obligated to keep you guys informed as the larger votes come forward. Wow. Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned.
That'll come before the